Welcome to our introduction to AltaSQL SELECT Discover's functional capabilities. We hope this demo will help you understand the value of our product and technology. AltaSQL can be used with any SQL editor or procedural code. DB Visualizer is our preferred editor. We will be working from a prepared script. All of the AltaSQL defined functions were copied from the Excel Ready to Execute spreadsheet, and we preset the argument values. The repository searches are effectively handwritten. The video has been edited to meet Snowflake's 10-minute time limit. These are the features we're going to cover in this demonstration. The first thing we're going to do is set a couple of session variables. This will make running the demonstration much smoother. The next thing we're going to do is generate the statement for creating the repository. Note that I did not type this statement in. I copied and pasted it from the Excel Ready to Execute spreadsheet and simply filled in the argument values. Look closely at the different arguments so that you can see what can be done when you are creating a repository. Let's briefly look at the create statement for the repository. The next thing we are going to do is generate the creation of these repository context session variable. This tells AltaSQL which repository to use. Note that we have already done this and put the set statement in both of our worksheets. Let's see how many view definitions were created when we created the repository for every table. This lets us generate select statements for each of these tables. A very valuable feature when you are doing data discovery. This is what a generated select statement in our select star replacement format looks like. You will note that the source columns are all qualified, the generated columns are all properly quoted, and the source object is also fully qualified and everything is already delimited. Let's generate another select statement where we can provide a post from clause, in this case where customer ID equals. This can be a very useful feature when doing ad hoc data discovery. Note the where clause. Note the arguments. We tell it which view definition we want. Tags have names. We give it a value. We decide which class it belongs to. We can give it a comment, and copy control determines whether or not it gets copied when we create new view definitions. We see that it's an insert statement. We have a function that lets us show all the tags associated with a particular view definition. We have two functions that let you retrieve the value of a tag. This is very useful for all sorts of things. In particular, you can use these as arguments to AltaSQL defined functions. The first one returns an unquoted value. The second returns a quoted value. Note the use of $$ that allows you to embed quotes in the value. So now let's add an expression to the invoice view definition to calculate commissions on the sale. Note that we're actually going to put a case statement in as the expression. Also note that we can add a comment on the expression column. Naturally, it's an insert statement, and let's look at the resulting select statement. Note on the far right, we now have a commission column. So what we're going to do now is look at creating new view definitions from existing view definitions. We call this view transformation. So the first thing we're going to do is demonstrate doing this with a single existing view definition, the VW invoice base. We're going to create new view definitions to hold natural language. So once again, we have an insert statement. Let's look at the select statement. We'll see at this point it's unchanged effectively, even though it's coming from a different view definition. The next thing we're going to do as a bulk operation, we're going to create new view definitions from all the ones that we haven't already converted from the base view definitions. Now, there's two ways to do that. The first one we're going to show you is creating a single varchar that has all of the appropriate commands. This is very convenient when you're working in a manual mode. So when we run this script, it's a very long script. You'll see down here that we successfully executed 10 inserts. Now that we've created all these new view definitions, we're going to show you how we changed the column names. We will split the camel case into natural language words with spaces, which is very useful when you want to work with generative AI. So we will start with just a single column, the last name column. You will see that it's an update statement as usual. We query the repository and see that last name is now 2 words. The next thing we're going to do is generate a script that will do this for all of the new view definitions. Note that we use an AltaSQL function to convert the camel case to mixed spaces. Note that we ran 11 update statements. Let's add a new column with a different name from an existing column. We see it's an insert statement, and now let's see what the generated select statement looks like. And you will see that everything has been split into natural language, and we now have the customer account number column. So now what we're going to do is show you how you can move away from the full qualification when we started with select star, and now you can change the qualification of the columns and the source objects. So we're going to do a single one. We're just going to do the customer for now. So you see we have an update statement. Let's go back and do the rest of them. But first, let's examine the result. We generate a select statement, and you will see that now everything is simply qualified by cust underscore. So we will change this and go to the appropriate database and schema so you can see how it works, because obviously it won't work here, but I'll show you that anyway. See, so now we've changed our database context to the Chinook DB and the physical schema, and you will see it works as advertised. So what we're also going to do is show you how to generate a script with individual statements instead of the list tag. So what we will do is execute the alter source object again, another really long script, and let's see that this worked as expected. And you'll see that we changed everything other than the customer NL to using the object name as the qualifier. Finally, we were going to show you what we mean by safely sharing repositories while ensuring the user must have appropriate privileges to execute the generated SQL. Everything that we show in our demonstrations usually has access to public to make it easier for us to run demos. We created a repository that we called non-public repo that cannot be accessed with public. We can generate the select statement, but we cannot execute it as the role public. We can execute it using the appropriate role. My name is Jeffrey Jacobs, and I'm the CTO and founder of AltaSQL.io. I hope you found this video helpful in understanding our product. To learn more, visit our website, AltaSQL.io. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. AltaSQL Discover is free and available from the Snowflake Marketplace. It includes unlimited usage, unlimited users, unlimited repositories, and unlimited possibilities. Thank you again, and we hope that you will download and give our product a try.